people of the World Wide Web. So it is Cypher Sigma here. And yes, this is a kind of a throw out there video, see if this takes sticks or something, if people like to see us. This is Monday movie news. This is basically a week of the current past news or a few articles that I've seen. I'm trying to keep it to like 5, so I'll cover 5 items about news, maybe upcoming, released, have been dropped out there, and just throw a quick few thoughts and feelings into it. So we shall get on to it. So first off, we will do the weekend kind of review. So there have been a few new movies been released. Weapons, one, currently sitting at 70 million, engrossed on a 38 million budget. So I've heard some good things about this. I hopefully will see this week. So that's good for that. Horror films are always cheap to make. 38 million isn't necessarily that cheap, but the fact it's more than doubled its budget already is a promising sign that this will probably hit 200-300 million and will be a success. So we had that. Next up, following up just behind that, is Freakier Friday. So this is the follow-up to the 90s movie with Lindsay Lohan and Jamie Lee Curtis, of a budget of 42 million. It raked in 44.5 million. So yes, just gone over its budget. So not too bad for an opening weekend, especially in the summer, at the current trend that we have now. So it's not hundreds of millions that big blockbusters would bring in, but I don't think these two movies are massive big blockbusters, but we shall see. They've got a few weeks going. Obviously the summer holidays means that probably a lot of revenue will happen during the weeks as people are off school. So that is kind of the first roundup. So we'll get into it. So movie news. So first off, we have confirmed from Sony they will be producing and working on a Spider-Punk movie. So this is the character from Beyond the Spider-Verse, so the animated world. Obviously we met this character in the second incarnate, or the second story. They are bringing back the writer who wrote, I think, that story from the original one. So I think Sony are having a lot of issues of late. Obviously there's a lot of story and news about the third one being put back. So again, I think they're trying to expand this world on characters that work. I don't think he looks a good character. He looks interesting. I don't know if you would need a very good story, I think, behind this for it to do well. But we shall wait and see. So from one Spider-Man news to another one, we have obviously Tom Holland himself. He has been in the UK, Glasgow, specifically filming scenes for the latest Spider-Man number 4. Interesting to see where this goes. I think 1 to 3 did round out the story quite well. This is kind of a new start and a new stepping stone, I think, for Tom Holland. I mean, good to see that he does his own part of his own stunts and stuff like this. Obviously not for the stuntman. And this is being filmed in the UK. Obviously they turned Glasgow into parts of New York. He's not coming to the UK. But yeah, interesting. So we shall see where that goes in future episodes. So next one up, one I was really favourite for is so this is Final Destination 7. So yes, this has been greenlit from studios that gave us Final Destination 6. Really liked it. Really good, really fun movie of this year. Had a few issues with it, but I do definitely want to pick it up. I want to pick them all up because I only have 1 or 2 of them in my collection. Again, I think this one, like the Spider-Man one, or maybe this is Spider-Man one, they are bringing back the writer from 6 to join this. So I say from the trailer and what I heard from the story, I wasn't too impressed, but they executed it really well. So hopefully if they can get that execution done in 7, this might be a new reignition of this franchise. And then the next edition or the next article is basically this. This was dropped last week. This is the Google image, but essentially Thunderbolts is officially a flop. It made 370 million worldwide. It needed 425 million to basically break even. I'm not saying this is a bad movie. I'm not saying it's a good movie. I'm just saying in money terms, this is a failure for Marvel. And it's very interesting to learn. These are obviously figures that have just been released. James Gunn famously came out last week to say, obviously, that Superman is struggling to make the money that they want, and he has said that the figures that have been released are falsified. They're not true, and obviously they have a probably clearer budget on clearer figures from their side of things, from a new movie, from a franchise. I think it has done, or it's parallel almost with Man of Steel money wise as we speak. I think it still has a few extra weeks that they've prolonged it. They're not releasing it to Amazon, I think, until the end of the month. It was supposed to be sooner, or there were rumours that it was going to be sooner. And yeah, the Thunderbolts hits home, which is a shame because as you've kind of seen that obviously the Fantastic Four has slowed down a lot in the amount of money that was doing. Obviously, it had a very good first week, beating Superman, and then obviously it slowed down. I did this little screen here, so this is kind of the 5 phases. Now Thunderbolts was the last movie, I think, of phase 5, and we're in phase 6. But you can see obviously the figure overall was going up and up. Peaked at phase 3, has dropped quite low for phase 5, but it depends if they want to class this as an overall picture. So I mean, if they have Marvel movies, some will do good, some will do bad, because you've had this throughout the whole wave. You know, you've had really early movies like Iron Man 2 that I think it financially did, but it wasn't a very good story. Thor 2 wasn't that great. And stuff like this. So if they're weighing up that budget, but what does this mean overall? I mean, for Marvel, it's a bit of a scary term if the Fantastic Four, underperform, because then that means all 3 of their movies have not done well. Now, Marvel were bought by Disney, and Disney have already recorded a loss, even with Stitch on 100 million, making over $1 billion. Their Elio and a few other things they've released have not performed that well. So this does ask the question of, do Disney keep hold of Marvel and keep going in this direction when they're making a loss? Obviously, you've had Riri Williams' Ironheart series that was released, quite negative feedback from what I've seen of that. It's, they do seem to be scrambling a little bit. But anyway, that has been my Monday morning movie news. Do you like this sort of video? Was this interesting? Did you know about these? Did you not? Let me know your thoughts and feelings in the comments down below. And I'll be back next week with another one of these. Hopefully they'll be interesting for you, and I'll see you in the next one.